Hello, gentle viewers. This is Avindian with a channel update for you. I wanted to explain what's going to be happening to the channel over the next couple of weeks so that you know what to expect and so that you can set your calendars for specific games so that you know when they'll be coming. To begin with, the most pressing news is Stellaris coming back to the channel. Stellaris' new update comes out tomorrow, that is Tuesday. And I promised that we'd come back to it once the new update came out, and Void Dwellers changed around. Looks like they've also made a few other changes too, in general making it harder to overcome low population growth, which I'm totally fine with. I think if that's the kind of race you're playing, that if you're giving a race, a species, I should say, if you're giving your species a purposeful downgrade in terms of population growth, it shouldn't be as easy to overcome it as it is right now. They're changing a few other mechanics too, but the big ones are habitats and then, in general, making it harder to make your population grow super fast. So starting next week, I'm going to start showing episodes on Thursday until RimWorld finishes, and then Stellaris will jump to Mondays. So that's what's going on with Stellaris. What else is coming up on the channel? We're almost done with The Room. We've only got a couple more weeks of that. And when we finish with The Room, we're going to go through at least one run-through of Slay the Spire. I personally just started playing Slay the Spire last week, and I've had such a blast with it. It's such a good game. And I know everyone and their brother covered it on YouTube like 6 months to a year ago, but it's so good, and it so fits in theme with the board game elements of this channel. I've got to play it, and I've got to show it for you guys. If you guys like it, we might make it a bit of a series. Otherwise, it could just be a one and done, and then we might revisit it later in the future. When Slay the Spire finishes, the next game on the list will be Help Will Come Tomorrow. Now, this is a fun game that I kickstarted. I haven't played it yet. It's a survival game in the era of the Russian Revolution. Those of you who have followed me on Twitter or know me IRL or have followed me on YouTube for a while know that I have a PhD and I studied Russian history for my PhD. So this is a game that was perfectly designed for me. I'm really excited to start playing it, and I'll probably actually start playing it this weekend just to do the tutorial and just get myself familiar with the basics of the game, so I can then explain it to you for the longer series that'll start on Tuesdays. Wednesday is going to be XCOM Chimera Squad for the foreseeable future. And you guys are going to get a double dip of XCOM Chimera Squad. I'm going to start showing 2 videos a week. Showing sounds like I own a movie theater, which I don't. And if I did, I'd probably be bankrupt by now, because it's kind of a crappy time to own a movie theater. Anyway, if you watch this movie like 3 years from now, this video, you'll be like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Well, look it up. We're going to start playing XCOM Chimera Squad on Thursdays too. After the brief run of Stellaris on Thursday, Stellaris will kick over to Monday, and then XCOM Chimera Squad is going to get a second slot. I have such a giant backlog for XCOM Chimera Squad because I basically played the game over the course of 2 weeks and finished the campaign. I don't want to get stuck in. So that's the only game I'm covering on the channel for like 26 weeks. Or however many episodes it is. So I started doing it twice a week. And I might even start doing it 3 times a week. I might even start showing it on Saturdays too, but I haven't decided that yet. Finally, Fridays will forever be Out of the Dark Baseball 21 until 22 comes out next year. That's not going to change. The last game on here that I haven't discussed yet is Battletech. Battletech is going to take over the channel when Stellaris is done. We're going to be playing through the campaign mode, not the story mode. Just because the story mode is something I haven't finished yet, and I know it's also pretty long, whereas the campaign mode is something that we can start and stop as we need to. So, that's what's coming on the channel. Three other games I want to address, and then there will be one final thing I'm going to cover. EU4, Europa Universalis 4, is getting the Emperor DLC sometime this year, tentatively. When that is released, I'm going to cover EU4 on the channel. It's been a while since I've played it, but I really enjoy it. Probably more than any Paradox game besides Stellaris. EU4 is probably my favorite. All time, of course, it's Victoria 2, but Vicky 2 doesn't hold up very well these days. And there's too many bugs. I just kind of have to set it to the side until Vicky 3 comes out. Come on, Paradox. You know you want to. Other games coming to the channel. This War of Mine, I want to do another run through of that. It's always been well received on the channel. It's a game I genuinely enjoy playing, from a game perspective, of course. And it'll probably slot onto the channel after Help Will Come Tomorrow. Depending on how depressing Help Will Come Tomorrow can get. And I have no idea what to expect. Although I might need to slide in another game or two between them just so that, for my mental health. Lastly, Phoenix Point. Phoenix Point is a game by the designer of the original XCOM, which is very XCOM-like, but with some pretty cool changes and differences to it. Phoenix Point is on my radar. I've played it a bit. It hasn't sucked me in the way, say, XCOM or XCOM 2 does. But that may just need some time. I might just need to play it more for myself until I get to the point where I'm like, I definitely want this on the channel. Phoenix Point is on my radar, though. And it's something I do want to cover at some point in the not-too-distant future. The last note, and then I'll recap what to expect in the short term, is Out of the Park Baseball 21. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. But a couple people were commenting on the channel that they wanted to see more of it. And I want to explain why there's not more of it now. If you've been following my channel for a while, in the earliest days, when I was doing like 5 games a week, or 5 episodes a week rather, which I guess I'm kind of doing again now, but just not in the same way, Out of the Park Baseball 21, or, God, that would have been Out of the Park Baseball 18, or even 17. I can't remember which game I was on when I started the channel. I was basically doing nothing but OOTP on the channel for a good 2 to 3 months, and I burned out. And because I'm spending so much more time with scouting and with trades and other things like that, it takes me, honestly, an hour to an hour and a half to record most videos. So while I am receptive that people want to see more, and I know it's the most popular game on the channel by far, views for a single episode dwarf views of everything else on the channel combined, it's a hard game for me to play in batches without burning out. So for now, we're going to stick to 1 episode a week. That could change. Life happens, and it could well be that we reach a part where there's a lull and there's no games that I'm particularly enthused about covering, and then maybe I'd throw on a second episode. But I think 2's my limit. Any more than that and I'll burn out, and I'll have to take, I think at one point I had 4 months off the channel, just because for my sanity I just needed to not play Out of the Park Baseball for a while. So that's what's coming. Hopefully you guys understand about OTP. I know it's popular. I know people love to play it. I love to play it. But if I'm going to keep loving to play it, I need to keep it measured. So, Mondays will be RimWorld until that finishes, which will then be Stellaris. Tuesdays will be The Room until that finishes, which will then be Slay the Spire. And then Help will come tomorrow. Wednesdays will be XCOM Chimera Squad. Thursdays will be Stellaris for a bit, and then XCOM Chimera Squad. Finally, Fridays, Out of the Work Baseball 21. When we finish Stellaris, we'll start up on Battletech. When we finish XCOM Chimera Squad, I'm not sure. If there's any chance of getting a double Out of the Park Baseball on the channel, it would probably be then. Or alternatively, that could be when we start up on our fourth or fifth, actually, at this point, playthrough of this War of Mine. I'll give it some thought. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the channel. If you are, subscribe. Subscriptions are very appreciated. Likes and comments are always welcome. Please never hesitate to share your feedback. You can also follow me at Avindian Gaming on Twitter. It's the only social media I'm actually on all that often these days. I have a Facebook page too, but it's under my real name. And I'm only on there like, happy birthday, and that's it. So if you want to contact me socially, head over to Twitter at Avindian Gaming. All one word. But until next time, thank you for watching the channel. It really does mean a lot to me when I see views tick up, when I see subscriptions tick up. It's what keeps me doing this, even though it takes up a sizable portion of my free time sometimes. So, thank you very much. And until next time, I bid you good day.